Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Hey guys, it's Cash here with another movie review. I'll be reviewing Batman from 1989, starring Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Michael Gough as Alfred. So let's get started with this movie review. This is one of the most anticipated movies that I've been waiting to review on my page. So I wanted to talk about it for a long time, and it was actually requested. So let's get down to business and review this movie. This movie was released in the year of 1989, directed by Tim Burton. It's a dark and refreshing interpretation of one of the comic kingdom's most beloved characters, and Tim Burton does that justice. Batman successfulully wiped away from the memory of the campy 1960 television show with Adam West and the press that changed that. If in any hands, by any example, it's not the kapow we all were used to watching in the late 60s. But now it's directed by Tim Burton. Its comic book to film adaptations can be highly entertaining and viewing for this film. Much like Richard Donner's Superman, Batman succeeds due to the creative passion invested in it. But unlike Superman, guys, Batman does not play slave in the dense comic book mythology. And rather, for example, it took the raw elements from Batman creator Bob Kane, who is now gone, rip Bob Kane. He's the original interpretation of the character, and for better or worse, reshaped in mythology, in my opinion. From the film's opening credits, it is evident that this Batman is not the kapow spandex, like I said, incarnation of many who have lived with Adam West Batman for so long. Paying tribute to the shadows in which the Dark Knight inhabits Burton's gothic vision. You know, Burton always has gothic vision due with Beetlejuice and now Batman. He gives away a decaying Gotham City. It's all dark, the weather corrupted, officers and tremendous criminals are around the town. Designed by Anton Furst and Peter Young, the city comes off as a living, breathing entity that bears witness to a twisted three-way relationship, in my opinion, between a vengeful hero dressed like a bat, a homicidal clown played by Jack Nicholson, bent for destruction, and a female photojournalist who is played by, don't get me wrong if Kim Basinger, if I'm pronouncing that right. There's a twisted three-way relationship between the vengeful Batman, homicidal Joker, and the journalist, stuck in the middle of their dangerous dance, which I love. I also want to talk about Tim Burton's choice of who played the masked vigilante. Burton dropped the gauntlet by casting Michael Keaton. A lot of people didn't think Michael Keaton would fit the role. The star of comedy hits Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was directed by Tim Burton and also featured Michael Keaton. He asked Michael Keaton to come back and to play Bruce Wayne. A lot of people had problems with it, saying he was too short, he was going to do a terrible job. There was a fan outrage towards the decision, and enormous tens and thousands of letters poured into the offices of Warner Brothers complaining that Keaton wasn't going to be fit for the role, with even Bob Kane and screenwriter Sam Hamm questioning Burton's decision. But that all changed when the movie came out, guys. It was a risky move, but one of the paid off big time in Hollywood. Having worked with him on Beetlejuice, Burton sensed that the darkness with Keaton, who had disarmedly portrays the duality of anger and shattered psyche, which in Bruce Wayne Batman is considered in the comic books. Another thing I also want to say about Keaton is he successfully dials down his natural ability to steal a scene. He also gets into character, which I like, but does not undercut his strong screen presence like many other actors do. On top of that, Batman is a demonstration in how to portray brooding and intensity all while wearing a rubber suit. Another thing I also want to say, he's the only Batman that can pull off the smirk. A lot of the Batmans now, like, for example, Bale, Val Kilmer, and also, I hate to say this, George Clooney could not pull off the smile. With Batman, all mood is natural, that his arch nemesis, the Joker, could be the opposite, what's like a larger-than-life character, a larger-than-life actor who was needed, and Jack Nicholson fit the role. And they did not get much bigger with making the decision for Jack Nicholson. He was portrayed as the Joker perfectly. I mean, each Joker has a different interpretation on how they perform. He was more comical and very evil. As the third party in the freakish triangle, Kim Basinger plays the part of Vicki Vale, a journalist on the trail of the Bat while falling in love with him and becoming obsessed with him. With the man behind the mask, she unfortunately also invokes the attention of the Joker, who he has a crush on her as well, who hilariously declares to all the potential suitors to never mess with another man's rhubarb. That's what he says, and I love it. A scene where the Joker attempts to seduce Vale sets the stage for the first showdown between him and Batman, which I liked. That's set in the museum recently defaced by Joker and his men, painting all over the paintings and giving away to the film's stellar prop designs, which I liked as well. Another thing I also want to say is Batman's arsenal of gadgets is amazing in this movie, enough to make James Bond weep and prop from the Joker to ask, where does he get these wonderful toys? And I always ask myself that. How does he carry all these gadgets on him? Because he's Batman. Among a lot of ultimate big boy toy in the sleek and jetpack is also the Batmobile. The freaking Batmobile is so badass in this movie. I'm happy that Tim Burton designed it and he came up with the designs. That's where they got the idea from the animated series, but that's a different story. And there's also the Batwing, which Burton introduces piercing the murky Gotham night sky. And then I also love the part, it was cheesy but it was cool, how Batman took the Batwing up and made it look like the bat symbol. A lot of films don't do that, and it's exciting for action sequences too. For all the innovation and spirit that this movie has, there are many flaws to be found, which I will like to talk about right now. Some was poor casting decisions, not Jack Nicholson, not Michael Keaton, but some of like Commissioner Gordon. I didn't like how bland Pat Hingle was. And another thing, Harvey Dent is slick but not very convincing Billy D. Williams. I have nothing against Billy D. Williams, but I wish they would have picked someone else. Those are really little flaws. To make many Batman enthusiasts happy, nor with Burton's edits of prejudicial moments, like I said, Batman's history as action film and fails to deliver with its poorly choreographed fight scenes, but I do like the fight scenes, don't get me wrong, and I love the beginning where he says, "I'm Batman" to the thug. It's just classic. And he's, how Keaton uses the Batsuit being small, it makes him huge, the Batsuit. It makes him, like, very, very scary. And then there's campiest of pop stars. The soundtrack is by Prince. It was good for its time. If you watch it now, it's kind of outdated. The suit, it's dark in tone. I really liked how the suit came out. I mean, it fits Michael Keaton well. Thankfully, it looks and themes performances are able to counter its faults. So with that being said, guys, I have a new system. How I go with 1 star for awful, 2 stars for poor, 3 stars for good, 4 stars for excellent, and 5 stars for masterpiece. That's how I'm going to be doing it for right now. So with this film, despite its flaws, I'd probably give it 4 stars out of 5, being that it's an excellent film and it's highly recommended for any Batman fan out there, including the campy Adam West Batman fans. It's a little darker in its tone of Tim Burton. Being Tim Burton, he always makes dark films, but he really did this movie justice, and he did a good job picking Michael Keaton to play Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. So with that being said, I'll be reviewing Batman Returns after a couple days and after I get time to review it. I'll be reviewing the Batman films as well as the Nolan films, as well as a Daredevil review coming up. So make sure you guys stick out for that. If you guys have any requests for movie reviews or game reviews, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to do it. With that being said, guys, this has been another movie review with Cash. So I'll talk to you guys later, and hopefully you guys like my review. Peace out and take care.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.